Jane Doe. My name's Rebecca Iwata. I have a master's in applied nutrition, and you and I are meeting today because your medical doctor wanted you to meet with a nutritional professional to discuss the management of your type 2 diabetes. So it sounds like at this point you guys are trying to see if you can reduce your weight a little bit and bring down your blood glucose levels to a more normal range. And your doctor would like you to make some changes in terms of how you eat in order to do this in a healthy way and see if we can potentially prevent you from having to add some additional medication in terms of managing your type 2 diabetes. So I wanted to go over with you a couple little tips and tricks on how you can create a healthier plate in terms of some eating choices for you. So a lot of this education, I'll be handing you a physical copy of this as well. But so to start, we have guidelines for creating a healthy plate. So essentially, you're about to fill up your plate for a meal, and this is just a little guideline for you to follow to really have a visual in terms of what you should be filling your plate up with. So if you see this photo here, we have a circular plate, and I want you to imagine that every plate that you're about to fill up is sectioned off in this way. So 50%, 25%, and 25%. So your goal is to fill up that 50% with non-starchy vegetables. And then one of the 25% sections you want to fill up with lean proteins, and the other 25% section you want to fill up with grains and starchy foods. You can also add a serving of fruit or dairy alongside of this, depending on what your calorie count is for the day. And I also have some additional lists of some of these foods that we'll go over in a minute. But so essentially, you want to fill up your fill up your plate in this way, so that you're ensuring that you're getting a good variety of a bunch of different foods, and you're having a well-balanced plate. So here are a couple examples of some of the foods that you can fill your plate up with. So for non-starchy vegetables, a lot of people aren't quite sure exactly what these are. You know, some people think that, corn's a vegetable and tomatoes are a vegetable. It really just varies. So I wanted to give you a little list of just a couple basics to keep in mind. So for non-starchy vegetables, leafy greens is a great way. Lettuces, spinach, arugula, kale, chard, things like that. Artichokes, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, beets, cabbage, celery, cucumber, eggplant, radishes, mushrooms, and squash. These are just a couple different examples. And so ideally, you don't want to just have 50% of your plate a big pile of plain leafy greens. If you are going to do a bunch of leafy greens, I would suggest mixing it up, doing a little bit of different types of them. And in terms of a dressing, you really want to stick with some healthy fats. So that's like some extra virgin olive oil. Maybe you can put a little bit of avocado on there, different fats that'll help you feel full a little bit longer and dress up those greens a little bit. The other vegetables that are listed here can be prepared in many different ways. You can roast them, steam them, saute them. Again, if you're going to use a fat, definitely use a healthier fat, such as like an extra virgin olive oil or an avocado oil or something like that. So fruit, I know it's kind of hard to tame the sugar cravings a lot of times. Fruit is naturally sweet, and you're also going to get a lot of different vitamins in there. So peaches, apples, pears, citrus, so things like lemon and oranges, things like that. Berries, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all the different types of berries. Plums, apricots, cherries, grapes, watermelon, pomegranate, papaya, mango, kiwi, and pineapple, just a couple examples. I think that this adding fruit into your diet can actually be a really great way to kind of trick your taste buds into feeling like you're having dessert. Because a lot of these, especially if you're shopping seasonally, you're going to get a lot of really natural sweetness in these fruits if you're shopping specifically when those types of fruit are in season. So as far as dairy, you really want to kind of stick to some of the reduced fat ones. So reduced fat milk, cottage cheese, yogurts, kefir, which is like a goat yogurt milk. As far as cheese goes, you want to kind of stick to things like mozzarella, like a reduced fat cheddar, Colby Jack, things like that. Of course, there's some really decadent cheeses out there, such as brie and things like that that are just pretty dense. So you kind of want to stay away from those. We want to keep it a little bit lighter. But dairy, you're going to get a lot of good protein and calcium and things like that in there. As far as lean proteins, this is, 25% of your plate, like we talked about. Turkey, chicken, salmon, beef, shrimp, scallops, eggs, lean ground beef, bison, pork loin, and white fish. There's tons of different types of fish out there as well. Lean protein. This is really going to help fill you up. This is going to just give you a lot of those vitamins and minerals that you need. And again, that's 25% of your plate. And then grains and starchy foods. There's quite a few different options. A couple of them are rice, quinoa, lentils, green peas, potatoes, beans, bulgur, oatmeal, and couscous. So these are just a couple, like I said. And so again, just to kind of review a little bit, so 50% of your plate is going to be filled with those non-starchy vegetables. 25% is going to be the lean proteins, and then the other 25% is going to be grains and starchy foods. And then the dairy and the fruit can just be like a little add-on to your plate as well, or a great snack as well. So I hope that this was helpful. Again, this is just one quick little example of some of the resources that I'll go over with you as we continue to meet. I would like to meet weekly, and I would also like for you to track what you're eating so that we can review that every week. So if you can please just a journal, a spiral notebook, whatever, however you would like to track, even if it's just keeping a note in your phone. If you can please just track what you're eating, and we can review it every week and kind of see where we can make a little bit of, make some tweaks if needed. All right, well, thank you so much. Again, I know this was just a quick first meeting. I just wanted to go over these quick lists with you. Again, I'll give you printed out copies of these as well. And I will see you next week at the same time for our next meeting. Thank you.